Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my subscribers on YouTube, peeps on Facebook, everybody at House of Nerdum, and NFL fans around the world. It is time once again for the DOUG's Week 11 predictions. That is right, we are now in Week 11. A lot of big things are happening. Of course, let's get to the recap of last week. On Thursday night, we had, and I kid you not, probably one of the biggest surprises of Week 10. The Cleveland Browns defeated the Cincinnati Bengals quite easily, 24-3. Browns are showing they may be the real deal. And we'll get back to Cincinnati in a little bit. On Sunday, my Dallas Cowboys in London defeated the Jaguars easily, 31-17. Now, normally I would be celebrating this, but I got to remember, it's the Jaguars we beat. That's no big feat here, folks. So I'm happy with 7-3, but this was an easy win. If we would have lost, it would have been more embarrassing and more newsworthy. Moving on to Buffalo, the Bills, who almost had the game in their grabs, gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Chiefs win 17-13. Over in Detroit, it looked like the Dolphins were going to get the win, but alas, the Lions would come back on a last-second touchdown pass from Stafford to win 20-16. In overtime, the 49ers would defeat the Saints, giving the Saints their first home loss in 2 years as they won 27-24 in overtime. Now, the thing with this, a lot of people are saying, that should have not been called. Cox flopped. The call was right. This one I will say the call was right. But yeah, Cox did flop. Let's be honest. That was flopping 101. Moving to Baltimore, the Ravens get a nice easy victory over the Titans, 21-7. In the upset of Week 10, the Steelers, after having two great big games, Andrew, and you know why I'm saying that, lose to the Jets, 20-13. The Steelers looked like crap. And this pretty much shows that maybe the Steelers are not the team we thought they were. We shall see. Tampa Bay would go 1-8 as the Falcons keep their playoff hopes alive, winning 27-17. The Broncos would destroy the Raiders 41-17, giving the Raiders 0-9. The Rams, who were so close to getting the win, unfortunately choke in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, as the Cardinals win 31-14. Now, unfortunately, Carson Palmer is out for the rest of the year with a torn ACL. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Cardinals can win a Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl with their backup quarterback. I think they can still make the playoffs, but now it comes into question what seed, because I think they're still going to get in. Over in Seattle, it looked like a close game at the end of the first half. Pretty much went to being a joke in the second half as the Giants would lose to the Seahawks 38-17. And on the Sunday night game, we saw murder, death, kill as the Green Bay Packers destroyed the Chicago Bears 55-14. And of course, last night, Matt Sanchez in his first starting game in years beat the Panthers 45-21. My worst teams this week, there's three of them. Of course, Pittsburgh, which I just talked about. Cincinnati, I mean, come on, Cincinnati. Primetime television, and you get your ass handed to you. That was a joke. That was an embarrassment on your part as far as I am concerned. And of course, the worst team of the week getting first honors and gold in this case is the Chicago Bears. Because my God, you gave up 55 points. Aaron Rodgers got 6 touchdowns. I mean, it's safe to say player of the week is Aaron Rodgers. Period. He's player of the week, folks. Deal with it. Bears looked like crap. At one point, it's pretty sad you just want the game to stop because it was terrible. And I felt sorry for the announcing crew for that one because we pretty much couldn't talk about anything after the second quarter was over. It was pretty much like, yeah, I'm sorry, if I was announcing that game once we came back from halftime, I would have just been like, yeah, Al, you talk about this. I'm going to play on my Sega Genesis because this game is over. So yeah, sorry, that's what it is. Best upset win is the Jets. Hey, maybe they go 8-8 now and keep Rex Ryan's job now. Who knows? So yeah, there's that. Now, of course, moving on to the playoff standings. In the NFC right now, Arizona is still the number 1 seed at 8-1. Detroit is the 2nd seed as they hold the tiebreaker over Philadelphia, based on best win percentage in conference games. Eagles are the 3rd seed right now at 7-2, and the 4th seed are the New Orleans Saints, 4-5. Now I said this, I'll say it again. It's pretty sad. You have pretty much two teams on the outside looking in who have a better record than the Saints, but they may not make it in. As far as for the 2 wild cards, the Dallas Cowboys are 5th at 7-3, and the Seahawks are 6th at 6-3 as they hold the tiebreaker over Green Bay based on head-to-head win percentage. Green Bay is currently in the outside looking in at 6-3, same with San Francisco at 5-4, and if the Vikings win this weekend, they can keep their playoff hopes alive as 5-5. Carolina and Atlanta are not out of it yet because the South sucks. Chicago and the Rams would need a lot of help to get in at this point. As they're 3-6. Same with the Giants and Redskins, but at this point, I think it's safe to say we know Tampa's out there 1-8. Redskins, Giants, Rams, and Chicago, they are pretty much on life support. One more loss and the cord will be pulled, folks. They will be DOA. Over in the AFC, the New England Patriots, thanks to pretty much got very lucky and are now still the number 1 seed thanks to a lot of things going their way with the Bills game and the Miami game. They have now got a little bit of a lead over those 2 teams a bit at 7-2. Denver is 2nd at 7-2 as well. Colts are currently in the 3rd seed at 6-3 as they have the tiebreaker over Cleveland based on best win percentage. And of course the Cleveland Browns, yes, I'm not making this up, the Cleveland Browns are the 4th seed. As far as for the 2 wildcard seeds at the moment, it is Kansas City at 6-3 and Cincinnati at 5-3-1. Other teams on the outside looking in, you have Pittsburgh, Baltimore, both at 6-4. And of course you got San Diego, Buffalo, Miami at 5-4, and Houston still hanging in there at 4-5. But the Tennessee Titans, New York Jets, the Jaguars, and the Oakland A's have been eliminated. So if your teams are still alive, good luck this week, because you are going to need it, my friends. Because this week could eliminate a lot of people, and I mean a whole lot of people. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. On that note, my friend. Now, moving on to this week, just as a heads up, the teams with a bye this week are my Dallas Cowboys, the New York Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Baltimore Ravens. If you have any of them on your team, remember to bench them this week, or else you could lose. Now, let's get to the games this week. Week number 11. Here we go. On Thursday night on the NFL Network, it would be the Buffalo Bills traveling to Miami. Now, not only could this game pretty much determine who keeps hope alive in the playoff races, but could also give us a clue on who has a shot at getting a hold of New England. Keyword there, a shot. Both teams have been playing very well. You know, both teams coming off a loss. Buffalo's 3-1 on the road. Miami's 2-2 at home. I am taking probably, and it's going to shock people a bit, I'm taking the Miami Dolphins at home. It's a short week for both of them. This usually favors the home team 9 times out of 10. When a short week is coming, granted that has not been the case usually. Because here's the weird thing, and I did my math on this, and we're going to go back a little bit just to show everyone and explain my reasoning for this. Week 1, Seahawks won on Thursday night. They were at home. Week 2, Ravens were at home. They won. Week 3, Falcons were at home. They won. Week 4, which was the first time the road team won on Thursday, Giants won in Washington. Week 5, Packers won at home over the Vikings. Week number 6. By the way, computers moving. Colts went on the road against Texans. Week number 7. I'm sure you're starting to see a pattern here. Patriots win at home over the Jets. Week 8 was another home win. Broncos defeated the Chargers. Week 9. Saints went on the road. And of course, in this last week, Cleveland won on the road against Cincy. Granted, in that game, no one really was on the road. No one had home field advantage since they both play in fucking Ohio. So I'm taking Miami. I trust their quarterback a little bit more than I do Kyle Orton. I think it's going to come down to the run game, though, and defense. Now, Miami is favored by 5.5 points. Keep that in mind, but I'm taking Miami at home. Moving on to the Sunday games. We have, oh, dear God. I'm taking the Vikings on this one against Chicago. Chicago's been terrible this year. They have not won a home game yet. Vikings can use this opportunity. If Vikings win this, they keep their playoff hopes alive. And Paul Martin, I can't believe I'm saying that, because a few weeks ago I said they were done. But for some reason, they are still alive if they win this game. So I know Paul Martin will be cheering for his Vikings this weekend. I'm taking the Vikings as well. And no, Teddy Bridgewater is a rookie quarterback. At this point, I've lost all faith in Jay Cutler. I will say this, I think the Bears organization, after the season's over, there will be a lot of people getting fired or getting cut. Moving to Cleveland, the Houston Texans come into town to take on the Browns. I'm taking Cleveland in this one. Cleveland's been looking very well. They have only lost one game at home this year. Now, of course, the question's going to be on this one, which offense shows up for the Texans, because, like I said, I don't trust Fitzpatrick. Cleveland's been clicking on all cylinders. You know, all they got to do is win out, and they win their division and go to the playoffs for the first time in years. I'd like to see it because it'd be a great Cinderella story, so we'll see if it happens. I'm taking Cleveland, like I said, to beat the Texans. But no, if J.J. Watt has a great game, Cleveland's in trouble. By the way, just to give you guys who like to do the favor on points, Chicago's favored by 3.5, and Cleveland is favored by 3.5 as well. Moving to probably one of the harder games this week, it is the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, nope, guess not. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Apparently, what I'm looking at and what's on the TV are completely different. So let's jump to the Eagles and Packers, which apparently will be starting a little late. That is going to be one of the late games now. Packers are at home this week. Eagles coming off a great win on Monday night, and Packers coming off a great win on Sunday. Eagles have not been good on the road. They are 2-2. Green Bay's 4-0 at home. I am taking Green Bay Packers on this one. It's not because the Eagles stink. This was a hard pick. The thing is, I trust Aaron Rodgers more than I do Mark Sanchez. And I'm going to say this right now. If Mark Sanchez has a great rest of the way, and he leads, and he has a great end of the way season, because he's pretty much going to be the starting quarterback, I think, for the rest of this season. I don't know about playoffs. But if Mark Sanchez has a great year, finishes out great, then you got to give Chip Kelly head coach, because he's done the greatest trick of all times. He made Mark Sanchez look like a believable quarterback again, which would be the greatest thing I think I've ever saw. But I'm taking Green Bay. They're at home. It's a tough place to win it this year at home, and Green Bay is favored by at least 6.5 points. Moving on. Seahawks and Chiefs. This is the one I wanted to talk about before I realized they fucking switched times on us. As you can see, the games on Madden are not exactly the correct times now. This one's a hard one as well, the Seahawks and Chiefs, because both teams have been playing very well. Seahawks are 2-2 on the road. Chiefs are 3-1 at home. Now, Seattle is favored by 1 point, in this one, which is kind of surprising. I'm taking the Chiefs at home. Seahawks are not a great road team. They're a great home team, but they're not a good road team. I think Chiefs, this would be a perfect opportunity for them. If they can win this and somehow Denver loses to the Rams, that puts Chiefs right back in the hunt for the division. It will be interesting to see if that happens, but I am taking the Chiefs to win at home over the Seahawks. Moving on to another difficult game to pick, but for different reasons. Why the Packers and Eagles game and the Chiefs and Seahawks game were hard to pick because both teams are actually playing well. This game is hard because both teams suck ass. Falcons have only won one road game this year. The Panthers are 2-3 at home. This is a coin flip to me because both teams have equally sucked. I'm taking Atlanta only because the Panthers have been dying this year, and I feel sorry for Cam Newton because Cam Newton had such a great year last year, and now it's, I think what happened, he lost Steve Smith. That hurt him. The defense's injuries. He doesn't have a lot of rookies he's dealing with on offense. I feel sorry for Cam Newton, but I got to take Atlanta on this one. Moving on, Bengals and Saints. Bengals have only won one road game this year. One. Saints are 3-1 at home. I am taking the Saints on this one. They are They are favored by a touchdown. I don't think Saints will lose back-to-back games at home. Bengals have been playing terrible. I'm taking the Saints on this one. So let's go Saints one more time. Moving on, the Buccaneers at the Redskins. Both these two teams kind of suck. Redskins need this one to keep playoff hopes alive. A lawsuit will pretty much end it. It is on Fox, so anybody who lives in the state of Virginia, this will pretty much be the game you will be forced to watch this week unless you got Red Zone, or hope to God the CBS game's better. I'm taking the Redskins on this one. Tampa Bay's, like I said all year, they've been playing bad. I'll take the Redskins. This should be an easy win for you guys, and if it's not, I would die of fucking heart failure. Moving on to the Denver Broncos game, which is going to be in St. Louis. I know my buddy Greg, he's hoping his Rams can win to keep any hopes of a playoff shot alive. But I'm taking Denver on this one. You know, yes, the Rams are 2-2 on the road. But Broncos are 2-2 on the road. Rams are 1-3 at home. So yeah, I'm taking the Broncos. Broncos are favored by double digits here. If you got Peyton Manning, this could be a great game to play him in. But remember, the Rams defense has been getting better. So keep that in mind. Moving on to probably another 1 o'clock game, a better 1 o'clock game in my opinion. The 49ers at the New York Giants. The Giants need this one to keep hope alive. They're 2-2 at home. Niners are trying to keep in pace with the Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals and try to find some way to get into the wild card seeding at this point, Mr. David Goodrich. Yes, I said your name again. Aren't you happy? I bet you're happy and all going goo 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 gaga, Mr. Goodrich. With that being said, I'm taking the 49ers. I'm sure Goodrich is probably going, holy shit, Doug picked my team again, finally. I did pick the Giants to beat the Seahawks, and I thought it was going to happen because it was looking good, and then the Giants do what the Giants do best this year and die. I think the Niners are going to win this one. They need this win to stay alive, so I'm taking San Francisco. Let's see what happens. Moving on to the late games. Yeah. Raiders at Chargers. I'm taking San Diego on this one, folks. The Chargers, Raiders just suck. This could be a bounce-back game for the Chargers. Granted, I will say this. If the Raiders somehow win this game, I will die a fucking heart failure. Because this could be one of the games they do win. So it's going to be interesting to see if that happens. But I'm taking San Diego. We'll look at that invitation in a minute, Jake. So yeah, I am taking the Chargers at home. Moving on to the best game of the week, in my humble opinion. The Detroit Lions travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This game is not only for the first seed in the NFC, but probably for the best record in the NFC as well, and maybe even NFL. Now, if Carson Palmer was playing in this game, I would have took Arizona. And yes, I know Arizona's at home, but with them putting the backup quarterback in, who's played well this year, I'm taking the Lions at home. This is going to be a defensive battle here. It's going to be on the running game to decide the winner here. You know, both quarterbacks have been playing do well. I think it's going to be which running game can work and which defense can make the biggest stops. And by the way, Arizona is favored right now in this game, but I'm taking the Lions. It's going to be the best game of the week. Hopefully anybody gets to watch. If you get to watch this game, watch it and enjoy it, because it will be the best game of the week. And that is a guarantee for me. Moving on to the Sunday night game, which will be available for everybody, unless you don't have NBC, then well, I just feel sorry for your ass. I am taking the Colts over the New England Patriots. Colts are at home. They are 3-1 at home. This is going to be a great Sunday night game, unlike the last few ones that have sucked. Like I've said, I've always bought into Andrew Luck. I said Andrew Luck is going to be the next version of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. This is another game where he can show it. I hope he can win this one. Go Andrew Luck and the Colts. It's going to be a great Sunday night game. Let's hope it ain't a blowout like the last ones. And of course, the Monday night game. Andrew! And all you other Steeler fans out there on my Facebook and friends list, you are playing the Titans on Monday night. I am taking Tennessee. No, I'm not taking Tennessee. I'm not that stupid. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. You did get a little bit of a hiccup against the Jets. You don't want it to let it be twice. You're on the road again. Titans are not a good team. This should be another game you should win. But let's remember that they've lost to Tampa Bay, a team they should have beat. They lost to the Jets, a team they should have beat. If that happens again, excuse me, with the Titans, oh dear God in heaven, Steelers fans be wanting to jump off a building. And I'm sure Andrew would at this point, and any other Steel fans I know. But just as a recap, I got Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Packers, Chiefs, Falcons, Saints, Redskins, Broncos, 49ers, Chargers, Lions, Colts, and Steelers. Let me know what you think. And by the way, last week, because I did not say it, I don't think, but if I did, oh well, I'll say it again. Last week, I went 9-4 for the season. I am 94, 51, and 1. Will I get over the 100 win marks for the season? Can I get my 11th winning week in a row? Let's find out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for week number 12, folks. Woo!